departments that are important that you definitely need to hear from. Orientation, it may seem to be a little bit tedious, but it's really important to you getting started here. Even if you've been to school before, if you haven't been to school before, you're a little bit nervous, orientation kind of helps you to understand the flow of the school, the correct departments you need to go to. You may not need anything right now, but trust me, while you're here, you're eventually going to need something. And we want to just make sure that you are fully aware of where you need to go and that you're comfortable with everything. So we're going to talk about, refunds and financial aid and your department heads and how to get into your online classes if you have that. Some of you guys will have online classes. Some of you guys have a mixture, which is called hybrid, where you're going to be online sometimes, but then in person sometimes. So we are going to make sure we cover what you need. You are going to get a follow-up PowerPoint to just refer back to. But please, if you don't hear anything else I say today, after we are done with this, don't not look at it until January, because what's going to happen is you're going to literally forget everything that I'm saying. So take some time to go to the website. I am not tech savvy, and the website is extremely user friendly. Make sure you take some time to look at where you need to go, where you need to be, your student email, because that is how we're going to communicate with you, okay? So just take some time to play around with some things is all I'm saying. Don't be here and then not come back until January 10th because you're going to be lost, all right? All righty then, so we're going to move on. I have preached and fussed, so we're going to move on. Okay, it's doing it again. All right, well, we're still going to keep moving. So my name is Miss Kimberly Fontanet. I am your orientation facilitator, and also Dean Buckley will be assisting. She is the one that's in the chat putting the links and things of that nature. She will be answering questions. It's going to be really hard for me to present to you guys and answer all the questions that you're asking. But I will say again, we are literally going to go through everything that I know many of you are going to ask. So just give us a moment to get to each section. I am going to stop at the end of each section just to make sure we're good to go. Okay, so I promise I won't leave you hanging. So I am again Miss Kimberly Fontanet, and then we also have Dean Candace Buckley on the line with us as well. All righty, so of course, sign in. If you have not done so, it only takes 1 second, and the link is in the chat. All righty. This is our president, Dr. Holston. We typically have a video to play, but it's super blurry, and we wanted you guys to get a good picture of who this gentleman is. He is full of life. He is definitely student-oriented and driven. We're all not fully back, or we're on campus, but still kind of going through COVID and just on the heels of that. But you will see him here throughout the halls. He's full of life. So when you see this face, even if there's a mask on it, you'll know it's him. So this is definitely Dr. Holston, and he is the president for all of the campuses of GPTC. All righty, so one of the things you'll hear me say constantly is that knowing where to go and who to talk to is half the battle. Depending on what your program of study is, it'll kind of determine where you're going to be. DeKalb campus is considered our main location, but we also have a Newton campus, and we also have other buildings as well. So depending on what your major is or what your program of study is will determine where you're going to be. So this is a good screen to kind of screenshot if you want, or just kind of record the address of the place that you know you're going to until you get familiar at going to that particular campus, okay? I'll give you guys 1 second to kind of get that information if you need it, and then I'll move on. All righty. If you guys could put in the chat for me what your program of study is, what did you choose? We're going to actually go through who your school deans are, but I would love to know what some of you guys have chosen. Practical nursing, okay. Okay, welding, okay. Awesome, awesome. I see a lot of medical here. We need you, so that's awesome. Okay, truck driving, opticianary, gotcha. All righty then. So we have a well-rounded group today. So we're gonna meet, or you're gonna not personally meet, but I'm gonna introduce to you through this the four school deans. So you may want to, depending on again what program of study you're in, make sure you get their information. I think it's always important to introduce yourself, even if it is through email. It's important to just introduce yourself, make yourself known. Okay. So the first dean that we're looking at is Dean Susan Wright. She is the dean over School of Business, Computer Information Systems, and New Media. I didn't see a lot of majors for you guys that type things in, but if you do fall under any of these, accounting, you have business administration, design, media production, recording arts, that would be her. This would be your person, okay? Dean Susan Wright. And even though many of us may be housed here, our offices are here, we still work with all campuses, okay? That's just an FYI. All righty. Now we have the Dean of School of Health, Education, and Professional Services, Dean Teresa Snag, all right? So I saw a lot of medical assisting and practical nursing. This is your person, all right? I would urge you guys that are in the practical or aspiring to be in the practical nursing, medical assisting, that you get to know the instructors and your school dean in this particular program. I am urging you to get to know them, all right? They also have in April, they will have an informational for those students that are interested in being accepted into that program. And I will send out information about that when I get the actual date, but it's gonna be very, very, very important that you attend that, okay? For my practical nursing students, okay? All righty, moving along. So we have Dr. Arthur Evans. He is the Dean over School of Industrial Technologies and Legal Studies. So I think I saw welding, criminal justice, paralegal studies, commercial refrigeration, automotive. He is over that program. He's a really nice guy, very student oriented. Definitely want to get to know him as well, okay? He is definitely here to help you through your program. And then last but not least, we have Dr. Dale Burgess. He is the Dean of School of Arts and Sciences. Many of our students that know, hey, I'm here, but I want to transfer to a four-year university or a four-year institution of higher learning. They typically choose interdisciplinary studies, which is totally fine. And this is the person that is over those, also general study courses. So even if you are in another program of study, you still have to kind of do your maths and your sciences, English. He is the person that is over those classes. Dr. Dale Burgess, okay? All righty. Okay. This section, to me, and to you, should be extremely, extremely, extremely important. It is important for you to get advised. I'm going to say that again. It is important, even if you are 100% sure, for you to get advised when you first get here. It's super easy. You can go online, gptc.edu, to make an appointment with an advisor, or to request an appointment with an advisor. Advising and taking the time to do that, it doesn't take a long time. It really helps to set the foundation. We have run into so many students that have advised themselves, and at the end of their program, they're stuck. So please, I am begging you, take the time to get advised. The people on here are your first year advisors. It's really kind of your first full semester. And then as you continue into your program, you actually have program advisors. So you have your first year advisors, and then you have your program advisors. Those are the people within your actual program. They're going to help you to finish getting through. Okay. Another important piece, if you're looking to change your major, maybe something that you were interested in at the beginning, and you're like, I think now that I've been here, I'm leaning this way. It's really important to know the process of that. So if you turn in any of the program change forms, which you can submit that online, much of what we have you can do online. So save you a drive sometimes. When you submit it, it needs to be submitted by the end of add drop. So let's say that you decide to change your program of study now. It is going to have to be submitted by add drop, which I believe is January the 16th. If it is not submitted by then and it's submitted after that, then those program changes will not take effect until the next semester. Okay? Anything done after add drop does not take effect until next semester. I'm going to show you guys all those dates so you can screenshot it with your phone if you want when we get to that slide. But I just want to make sure it's clear that if you decide to change your program, make sure you do that before the end of add drop, okay? Everybody, are we good? Are we good? Am I talking too fast? Are we okay? Just let me know. Good, okay. Keep going, Ms. Kim. Any of that will be good. Perfect. Somebody said golden. I love that. Okay, good. All right, moving on. Okay. Things you need to know before classes begin. Literally everything I just said you need to know, but there's more. Okay. Uh-oh. All right. So, spring payment deadlines. Now, if you do not have payments, I don't want this slide to throw you guys off because sometimes students will be like, oh my God, do I have payments? Okay, wait. Just if you don't have payments, this does not apply to you. And many of you guys probably won't, especially if you've never been to school before, and if you have enough aid to cover, you more than likely will not have payments. But some of you guys do. So this section is important for you guys. Okay. So the spring payment deadline, all right, is January the 30th. And you can pay that online, whatever that may be. Now, if you're a person that wants to pay in person, then January 28th is the last day that you can come up here to pay in person at the cashier's office, and it's 2 p.m. The cutoff is 2 p.m. to pay on campus. Let's say you don't make it to campus, you are working, you got busy, you slept too late, whatever the case may be, you can still pay online until January 30th by 11:59 p.m. Do not wait until 11:57 to log on in Bannerweb and pay. Don't do that. All right. So try to make sure you're making whatever payment you need to at least a couple of days before, so you're not running into any tech issues at the last minute. Okay. If you don't have a zero account balance, your classes will be dropped. I know it sounds crazy, but if you owe $2 and it's not paid, it's not going to show a zero balance in the system, and your classes are going to be purged. Okay. I don't want that to happen. So make sure you make that payment, whatever it is, by January the 30th. Okay. Oh, the blue square you have here, so that's the frequently asked questions link that's been put in the chat. It was put in the chat a few times with the sign-in link. If you click on that and you see number 2, it's literally just giving you steps on how to see your financial aid award. Number 14, well, how do I see if I have an account balance? You'll just go to number 14 under that link and it'll tell you. Just FYI, all of this information, if you want to know how much you're getting awarded, if you have an account balance, all of that, You can literally go into your banner web and see all of that. I really want to save you guys some time from feeling like you got to email and wait for somebody to get back with you or call. All of that information is there. If it isn't there when you look, just give it some time. They process stuff every day, but you can see all the stuff I'm talking about if you just go into your banner web, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on, okay? All righty, so moving along. All right. So the deadline for adding and dropping classes for the spring. So January 16th, classes begin January the 10th for most of you. And I say that because some of you guys may have what we call stack courses, or you may be in an accelerated A or accelerated B, meaning your classes may start in January if you're accelerated A, but the date ends sooner than May. You will see that when you look at your schedule. You will see all of that. But let's say, you start class January the 10th, the add and drop period, meaning to make changes, saying, this time isn't going to work for me. I really don't want to take this online. Let me see if it's offered another way. All of that can be done until January 16th, 11:59 p.m. After that time, you own that schedule, meaning whatever classes are on there, you have to take them. There's no changes after that at all, okay? No changes at all. So please keep that in mind. And I will also urge you to continue, let's say you've registered for classes already, continue to check your schedule. And I say that because if there are any updates as far as the deans needing to adjust a time or a teacher or something like that, you want to know that well ahead of time. So don't register and then not look back at your schedule. Continue to kind of look just to see if there are any changes, and then you'll know if you need to make adjustments within that first week. Make sense? All right, moving along. Okay, so I kind of talked to you guys already about this, but basically there can be multiple start dates. So just make sure you continue to check your schedule. I'm going to show you an example of a schedule just so you can kind of see. I know a lot of people are visual. I'm a visual learner. So we'll look at a schedule in 1 second. But some of you guys may have classes that start and end at different times. So please, please, please keep that in mind. All righty. If you have not signed in, I think this is the last time I have to say this, make sure that you sign in. We have to get a record that you were here, okay? All right. So the schedule example. All right, so you see here we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday down in the corner. Let's look in this area here where the arrows are. So you see this particular class, it's 2 o'clock to 2:50 Monday and Wednesday. All right. Class, where is it held? The CAB, our main campus, and A building, which is that building that's right in the front with the rotunda with the white poles in the front. That's the building A, okay? Date range. So for this particular just example, this particular class is in a full semester class, meaning it lasts the whole semester. There's no halfway point that it's over. Another important thing to keep in mind is it's a hybrid class, meaning, yes, the student comes in to meet Monday and Wednesday, right? But they still may have assignments and things due through Blackboard. All right, so it's just saying it's a mixture of in-person and online assignments. Okay. All right. We are almost done with the first section. See, we are moving along. So before we move on to talking about the money, I really want you guys to know which departments do what when it comes to your money. All right. It is assumed that financial aid does everything, and they do a lot, but they don't do everything. So if you want to screenshot this, I think it's a great idea. But just to kind of quickly review, financial aid, of course, can discuss with you for your financial aid status. Again, you can see that in Bannerweb. You can submit if they request documents from you, which they will send you alerts through your school email. Please make sure you set up your school email. There will be no personal emails, school email only, okay? They will communicate with you through there. If you have any questions about your financial aid award, they can assist with that. Interested in federal work study, definitely will know if you qualify for that through them. And then if you need some assistance with completing your FAFSA. Has everyone completed that? If you have, just put yes. You completed that FAFSA form yet? Yep. Okay, I see a lot of yeses. Awesome. Proud of you guys for jumping on the ball. Somebody said not yet, that's okay. All righty, perfect. And then the other thing is, before we talk about their email, is we have what we call here kind of one-stop advising. So when you actually get advised, you can ask your advisor some of these general questions and they'll be able to help you. If they're not able to help you, if it's like an in-depth question, they will help you to find out. Okay, so that's another part of taking advantage of getting advised. Get all the information you can at the beginning so you don't have to continue to contact people, okay? And then of course, financial aid has their own email. Y'all, they are manning this email every day, all day. Somebody is always looking at it. So if you just need to know something, you're like, I'm not really seeing it under my banner web. I need to know, this. You can shoot them an email and I promise you they will get back with you. I promise you they will. Okay. And it's just simply financialaid@gptc.edu. Keep in mind, everybody that works here, every department's email ends in @gptc.edu. As far as employees, everybody's email ends with that. Okay. And then moving along, the cashier's office, account balance inquiry, payments, student refunds. We have a section about that we're going to review in a few minutes. Scholarships, the third-party payments goes through them. And then, of course, the veteran funding applies to your account. The cashier's office handles as well. And then they have an email address as well. So you email that and just give them a moment to get back with you. We have thousands of students. So if they don't answer you within an hour, please don't be mad. Give them a little bit of time to look up look at your question, look your name up, get the information, and then get back with you. Okay? Awesome. Now we are getting ready to cover financial aid, and I get to shut up for a minute. You're going to hear from Miss Felicia Elster. She is amazing. She is a guru when it comes to this stuff. So please listen up because she's going to give you all the pointers she can. Okay? And Miss Felicia, you there?
Hi, this is Jessica Austin. I'm stepping in for Felicia.
Oh, okay. Jessica's awesome too. So she's going to be able to go through this. So what I'm going to do is just put myself on mute and you can let me know when to move on to the next slide, okay?
Okay, so I'm saying that one more. I tell you when to go to the next slide.
Yeah, just when you're done with one, just say move on or something like that and I'll click.
Okay.
Forward. Okay.
Ready. All right, so financial aid. So I noticed that most of you have already completed your FAFSA. That application is for federal and state aid. So if you've already completed that, that's great. And we can see if you're eligible for any aid. Most students are eligible for state and federal aid. So the student that hasn't completed their FAFSA yet, just please make sure that you complete the 21-22 FAFSA. And if you complete a day, we should receive it by the end of the week. So financial aid opportunities. So once you complete the FAFSA, you add our school code, which is 016582, and it comes directly to us. And depending on your program type, that lets us know what you will be eligible for. So if you're in a certificate program and you're a Georgia resident, we'll review your eligibility for Hope Grant and Hope Career Grant, Zell Miller Grant, and then for students that might have applied for a student access loan, that's through the state, just for Georgia residents. If you're registered for at least 6 credit hours, we'll package you for that aid. The diploma program is the same. The only difference is federal Pell Grant. If you, once you receive your FAFSA, if you have an EFC number, a family contribution number, that allows you to be eligible for federal Pell Grant, we'll package you based on your credit hours and your EFC number. In the degree program, we package Hope Scholarship, so just for Georgia residents, and then Pell Grant, Student Access Loan, and if you're eligible for Zell Miller Scholarship. So we'll review you with that, with the FAFSA, we'll review you for federal and state aid. And for students that might have just completed the Georgia Student Finance Commission app, we'll review you for state aid. So some information about financial aid, Hope Grant. So most students, if this is your first time enrolled in a diploma or certificate program, and you've been a resident of Georgia for at least 2 years, you're most likely going to be eligible for Hope Grant. You just have to maintain at least a 2.0 GPA, and the state will check your GPA at the 30 credit hour mark and the 60 credit hour mark. So as long as you have at least a 2.0 GPA, you will remain eligible for that Hope Grant. Hope Scholarship. So once you graduated high school, will determine if you're eligible for Hope Scholarship with at least a 3.0 GPA, and then they have a checkpoints of 30, 60, and 90 credit hour mark. And then the Student Access Loan. So once you're packaged for your financial aid, you'll review that, compare it to your charges. If you still have a remaining balance or still have a need, you have an option of applying for a student access loan. And for the year, you can receive up to $4,000 a semester. So actually, the maximum and minimum amount is on GA Futures website. Might adjust a little bit. But if you're interested in that student access loan, I would visit gafutures.org to see the loan amounts that you may be eligible. Any questions about the offer types? Go to the next slide. And then the FAFSA is a free application for federal student aid. If you still need to complete that, you'll go to fafsa.ed.gov and add our school code 016582. So the FAFSA for 21-22 8-year it covers the fall semester, which we're about that's just ended, then the spring semester that's about to start, and then the summer. So you only need to complete the FAFSA one time for the 8-year. And if first you'll have to create a FSA ID and password, and then if you're a dependent student, your parents will also have to complete a FSA ID and password. Next slide, please. So which FAFSA should I complete? So for this spring semester coming up, you would need to complete the 21-22 FAFSA, and that will ask you for your 2019 tax information. And when you're filling out your FAFSA, it's best to use the IRS data retrieval tool because it's the easiest way to provide your tax information. It ensures that the information is accurate, and then it will eliminate, if you're selected for verification, it will eliminate providing additional documentation. Slide, please. So financial aid eligibility requirements. So we check each semester your satisfactory academic progress, we call SAP. You have to maintain a cumulative GPA with 2.0 GPA, a completion rate of 67%, and then your program time frame, you have to complete your program within 150%. So with that completion rate of 67%, so that means that you're passing more than that you failed or maybe you withdrew. So we look at the classes that you've completed and classes that you registered for. So we take a percentage of that completion rate at the end of each semester. So if you fall below any of those standards after the end of the spring semester, we'll send you a warning email to let you know that you have fallen below one of those SAP standards, and it's just a warning. So that next semester, if you register for the summer, you'll still be eligible for aid. But if you still fall below any of those SAP standards after the summer semester, then you will fall into SAP suspension. And we'll send you another email notification, but that means when you're on SAP suspension, that means that you're no longer eligible for federal or state aid. But there is a SAP appeal process. So we'll send you an email with instructions on how to complete the SAP appeal, and you'll log into your portal, explain why you fell below those SAP standards, and you have to have supporting documentation to go along with it. So if you were like in a car accident and you that's the reason why you failed all of your classes, or you withdrew and you fell below that completion rate, then you would have to type up a statement, then show supporting documentation. Maybe it's a police report from your accident, but you'll have to upload that information and then meet with your academic advisor to go over academic plan for your academic success. So we also look at your residency. We make sure that if you're a Georgia resident, we look at that to see if you're eligible for aid. We also make sure that you're a U.S. citizen. So sometimes we'll have to ask for some citizenship documentation. And then your program of study, when we're packaging or determining your eligibility, we look to see if you're in a certificate or a diploma or a associate's degree program. We look at all of that and more to determine your financial aid eligibility. But we'll send email notifications if we need any additional documentation from you. Slide, please. So Campus Logic, so that's the portal that we use, the software that we use to obtain additional documentation from you. If you're selected for verification, or if we have to verify your citizenship, if you have we're in bankruptcy status, defaulted in loans, or for a SAP appeal or family dependency appeal. So we use Campus Logic. We'll send you an email whenever we need additional documentation from you. We'll direct you to your Verify My FAFSA account, and that you'll upload the documents, we'll process them. It tracks your status and sends you updates as soon as we review. So please make sure that you monitor your student email account. And then once you upload your documents, you'll receive an email from Campus Logic as well as text messages. So we try to stay in touch with you. Next slide, please. So some commonly asked questions, do I have to reapply for financial aid each year or every year? So yes, every year you need to complete your FAFSA. You're taking classes, so it opens October 1st of every 8 years. If you're planning on taking classes in the fall, you can go ahead and complete your FAFSA for 22, 23, and it will ask you for your taxes from 2020. If I've been awarded for financial aid. So you'll know if you're awarded financial aid because once we package you, we'll send you an email notification for you to log into your Banner web account, for you to review your award, and then you can look at your charges as well and compare. Can my financial aid pay for my books? So yes, if you have a credit, so once your financial aid is applied to your account, you can look at your charges and then look at your financial aid. If you have a credit, so if your financial aid is more than your charges, then you can use that credit at the bookstore. Slide, please. Yeah, if you have any questions for us, feel free to send us an email and we'll respond to you with it, most likely in the same day.
Miss Jessica, we did have a question. Someone asked, how long does it take to get approved for the HOPE grant?
So once we receive your FAFSA, we'll package you once that day that we receive it. So 24 or 48 hours, we'll package you for that HOPE grant if you're eligible for it.
Perfect. And Shantoya, I hope I'm saying that right. You'll know if you've been awarded financial aid and package because they're going to send you a notification. Okay.
Yep.
So you'll be made aware. All right.
If you're not packaged for financial aid, it's most likely we need additional documentation from you. But if you have questions, just send us an email and we'll review your account for you.
Perfect.
Oh, please make sure that you put your student ID number in that email, your 900 number.
Perfect. And guys, if you don't, we don't expect you to memorize that number quite yet. It should be within one of the first 2 emails that you received when you applied, that 900 number and your actual email address, okay? All righty. Any more questions for Miss Jessica before we move on, or are we good? If we're good, just type good and we will keep going. Looks like we're all good, Miss Jessica.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty. Oh, if you haven't signed in, I don't know how many times we have this in here, but if you have not signed in yet, which I think you guys have, so I'm going to move on. But if you haven't, you'll scroll up in the chat and click the link to do so. All righty. So now we have made it to the section where we're going to talk about refunds and some other pertinent information. So Miss Pettigrew, are you on? Miss Ingrid?
Good morning. I am here.
Miss Ingrid. So this is another guru. She knows this stuff in and out. All right. So please listen up because the dates and information she's going to give you, you're going to need. So please pay attention. And I will be back with you after she's done. Miss Pettigrew, just let me know when to move on, okay?
Okay, you can go ahead to the next slide. We'll just start. Again, good morning. As you saw on the previous slide, my name is Ingrid Pettigrew. I am the Banner Coordinator for Student Accounts here in the cashier's office. I do supervise both offices. We have one located in Clarkston, room 161, and then we have one in Newton, which is in building A, where financial aid in the registrar's office is located. I'm first going to start going over how we process our refunds. We do not process student refunds in-house anymore. We have partnered with a company called Bank Mobile, who actually processes our refunds. As you see on the screen, you will receive a green envelope that looks exactly like the one on the screen. in the mail. In that envelope, it is an actual code. So that's all that's going to be in there. It says like, welcome, here's your code, go to this link to get started. So it's very important that you do not throw that envelope in the garbage. A lot of people get it, think it's junk mail, and they trash it. But that actual envelope is valid, and we'll show GPTC. So please make sure you open it. Don't put it to the side, because it will hold up your refund if you're receiving one. Okay, Kim, we can go to the next page. Again, like in the envelope, I said it will give you a security code. It will ask you to go to their website, which is listed on the screen. It's also in the envelope. You will put in that code exactly how it is in that letter. So therefore, if that letter has like any dashes in that code, any dollar signs, any special characters, you have to type it in exactly the way it is with no spaces. Then you'll just you'll hit go. It'll ask you a couple, other questions. Please make sure that you read what it says on the screen. Please enter the information in the format that they have present in the envelope. That way you won't lock yourself out. Then you have to call us to reset you or reset your code. Okay, Ms. Kim, we can go to the next one. Once you get started, there are three methods of how you can receive your refund. One is direct deposit, where it will go directly into your account. Two is the bank mobile via checking account, because this is an actual bank. So they do actually have a checking and savings account, either one that you can open up through them, as well as receiving a paper check. I'm going to briefly go over each one. The deposit exists into your own account. You will get your refund like 2 business days after refunds are processed. So in other words, today is Tuesday. If we send up a refund file to them today, the money most likely won't hit your account till Thursday. So if, time of the essence is not that issue for you, then I would say do direct deposit. The next one is the banking vibe, their checking account. If we send a file up today, you'll actually get your money today. It'll hit your account. They will also mail you a debit card with that particular account. And lastly is paper check. At this point, I'm suggesting to everyone choose either option 1 or 2 with the post office and how mail is, and checks do get lost. And if they mail you a check and that check is lost in the mail, or if you get the check and you hold it, believe it or not, yes, we have students that hold checks for years and then come back and say they're stale dated. If that event happens, at that point, you will be required to either select direct deposit or their checking account. We will not reissue a check, and they will not reissue a check, because basically they're trying to get away from sending out checks because it's a bank and everyone is trying to do everything online. So just take that into consideration when you do make your selection. Okay, Ms. Kim, we can go to the next slide. So we have some frequently asked questions, and these are actually questions that have actually come from students. The first one, if you already have a bank mobile account. So most of the colleges in the state of Georgia does use bank mobile to process their refunds. So let's say you go to Georgia State, which is next door. If you had a bank mobile account with them, you have to reset up a new one with us. You cannot use the same account. So just take that in consideration. Yes, you will have to get a new envelope, set up a new account if you have one from a previous school. It could be from a tech school, university school. It wouldn't matter. You just have to set up a new one. What if you don't get the green envelope in the mail? Green envelopes will actually start going out to students the first week that you're registered. And the reason for that is we try not to send them out too early in advance, because once students get them and they set them up, first thing they think is they're getting a refund that day. And then also to avoid sending it out to students that may have registered and then decided, no, I'm gonna sit out a year, or I'm gonna sit out a semester. So the actual envelopes, you should start getting them the first week that you start classes. Next, refund. So our expected refund date for spring is the week of February 14th. So please make that note, write it down so you are aware when refunds should go out. That way you don't have to call and ask, where's my refund? You'll actually know when refunds are going out. When can you use your financial aid in the bookstore? So we do allow students to charge in the bookstore against their financial aid, as long as you have a refund pending once your tuition and fees are covered. That first day will be the first day that we are back on campus. So the actual first day that you can start charging is January 4th, which is after the holidays. You have up until February 1st to actually charge against your financial aid. After February 1st, if you do not charge in the bookstore against your books and you come to us, ultimately it causes a problem, because refunds will start being processed after February 1st. Once we start processing refunds, we can't just stop and let you charge in the bookstore. So just keep that in mind. You have from January 4th to February 1st to charge in the bookstore to purchase any books that you need, as long as your tuition and fees are covered and you have a pending refund left over. And if you do have questions for us, you can call us at the number that's listed below at extension 1249, or you can send us an email, which is at the bottom, accountreview@gptc.edu. We do check that email daily. We ask that you allow 24 hours. Normally we respond within the same day, but we do ask to give us 24 hours to respond to any of your inquiries that you may have. Okay, Ms. Kimberly.
Ms. Pettigrew, could you speak to this for a moment? Because we talked about this yesterday. I just want to make sure all the students are clear.
Okay.
We do have some students that are not starting class on the 10th, or they are, and their classes are ending early. It's kind of like an accelerated A or B class. So could you speak to maybe when they would receive their refunds? Give us a little bit of info about that.
Okay, sure. So, as Ms. Fontaine expressed, there are different start dates in the term. Usually your financial aid, when financial aid packages your financial aid, they package you according to the hours that you're enrolled. And your financial aid is actually released to your account based on when you start those classes. So let's say you take 2 classes, you're in 6 hours. One class starts in January, let's say the next class won't start till March. They disperse $1,000 to your account. And not all that $1,000 is going to be dispersed. Only 500 of that is going to be dispersed because you start in that first class in January. The other half of your aid will not be dispersed until you start that second class, which will be in March. So how does that affect your refund? Refunds are actually sent out after your tuition and fees are paid. So let's say out of that $1,000, you owed us $600. Well, they only dispersed $500, which means you still owe us $100. So your refund probably won't go out until March. So that's what we mean with stop classes and how refunds are distributed. So, you know, we actually, it's really best if you're starting in January, try to register for all your classes. So that way you don't get stuck in that. But there are some programs you will get stuck in that, like Weldon, I want to say automotive may have it. I know Weldon is exactly one. Automotive is probably another one. How their classes start at different times. So just make yourself aware of that. So although refunds are going out the week of 14, that refund, those set of refunds are for students that are registered for the A session. All their classes start on January 4th or January 5th, and they all end like in June when the semester's over. So, you know, again, be cautious of your schedule. look at your schedule to see when your classes start. Then you can kind of figure out, okay, I'm not going to get all my refund in this day. I'll get it, later on when your classes start. Is there any other questions concerning that? Did I confuse someone? Please let me know. Is everyone okay?
Guys, if you're good with the explanation, just write good. We just want to make sure you guys understand and you're comfortable. Okay, I'm getting good, so it looks like they are good.
Okay.
Okay. All
So
right.
I guess we can proceed on to the next one. Okay. Excuse me. As Ms. Fontaine kind of expressed earlier on in the slides, the payment deadline is January 30th, which that one is online at 11:59 p.m. As she expressed, we will purge you for $2. It has happened. There's no guarantee we're gonna protect you for $2. And sometimes people do slip through the cracks. So if you still have a balance and your classes will be purged, where do you go to check your balance? We have two separate columns here. How to check your balance. It kind of gives you step by step how to go in and check to see if you actually have a balance so you don't get purged. The other column actually shows you how to go online and make a payment to pay your balance. Next, for individuals that are using WIOA or WorkSource or unemployment benefits to go to school, they're paying for you to go to school. All those vouchers, because they will give you a voucher. That's the only way we can bill them. Once they give you a voucher, it needs to be sent to the cashier's office. To my attention, that's fine. Most of the vendors that the students use, I know all of them for the most part. We have a good working relationship. So they kind of already know. They'll send me an email with your voucher, but it's also the student's responsibility just to make sure we receive it. Because ultimately that's protecting your classes or not protecting your classes if that voucher is not received, before the deadline, payment deadline, I'm sorry. As well as scholarship correspondences, those two needs to be sent to the cashier's office. If you're receiving an outside scholarship, please make sure that we receive notification. So therefore, again, you won't get purged for non-payment as long as I get something in writing telling me from that company that, hey, we are sending $1,000 for student X. We mailed the check, it may be late, that's fine. As long as I get something letting me know that your classes won't be purged for non-payment. If I get it after the payment deadline, ultimately you might get purged. Can you get reinstated? Yes, there's a process you may need to go through. But we actually try to get that to us in a timely fashion. If you can, because that really will help us. And Kim, I just want to touch on something real quick since we have students here now. We will be doing a call and post to students today. So if you are registered and you do not have enough financial aid on your account, you will receive a call and post today telling you, making you aware of your balance and how much is, well, it won't tell you how much is due. It'll just let you know that you have a balance. Please, please, please make sure that you check your account to see if you do have a balance and what your balance is. If you have a question, again, you can call the cashier's office. But if you're thinking that, hey, I'm using financial aid to cover, I shouldn't have a balance, then that call needs to be directed to financial aid because it could be a problem with your file. You may need to turn in documents, which the cashier office personnel can't actually tell you what documents you're missing or that you might need. All we can do is transfer you back to financial aid. So just so you'll know, when you get that call and post today, I don't want you to be in shock. Like, why am I getting this call so early? It's kind of letting students know, like, hey, we only have like another month before the payment deadline. So just kind of making you aware. Okay, Ms. Kim, I'm sorry I went off track. I just wanted to give them a heads up.
Oh, you're totally fine. I want to make sure they get all the info they can. And before you move on, I know we're on the section of money But I did just have a student ask a question about your classes. So if you missed kind of the beginning, we did cover making sure you get advised. So at the very top of anything, you guys have to make sure that all of your documents are to admissions. So you've applied, make sure they have your ID and all that stuff they've requested. And then you need to make an appointment to get advised. And you can do that through our website. You go to gptc.edu, click on current student, and then click on advising, and it's all right there to make an appointment for online or a phone call. Okay? All right, we can move on.
I'm going to go over now net payment plan. So we have a lot of students that are out of pocket paying students. And to kind of help them a little bit, we also partnered with NailNet. Some of you may be aware if you're coming from the university school and have loans, NailNet may be your provider. But we partnered with them to offer payment plans to our students that are paying out of pocket or that does have a balance and don't have all the funds to pay for it. Because unfortunately, here at the cashier's office, if you call us and say, hey, I know I got a balance of $500, can you please work out a payment plan? The answer is going to be, unfortunately, no, we cannot. As a state agency, we cannot set up a payment plan for you. Ultimately, you have to pay it in full if you're working directly with us. However, if you need to set up a payment plan, NailNet is available. The only situation with that is they have certain dates that you can sign up. Once that last date is over, which is January 8th, the NailNet payment plan is closed for the rest of spring semester. So just make yourself aware of that. At this point, you have up until December 10th where you will put down 25%. And then you'll have 3 payments, which will come out December, January, and February. February will be your last payment. Each payment are taken out your account on the 20th of each month. So, in other words, let's say you set up your account today, you put down 25% of whatever your balance is, and you still have, a balance that's going to be divided in 3 payments. Your next payment is coming out of your account December 20th. Just a FYI. We have students that sign up, and then when that second payment comes out in the same month, they're like, I don't understand. But that's how that works. So if you know you're not going to have that money by December 20th for that next payment to come out, because they will cancel your payment plan. If they cancel your payment plan and you don't pay us in full, your classes will get purged for non-payment. So the other day I had a consultation with a student, and I kind of advised her, if you know you're not going to have the money by the 20th, I recommended to her to do the 50% down if she can, because ultimately that's really what you're paying. If you're paying 25% up front, then you're going to pay another portion on December 20th. You're basically paying 50%. So I told her ultimately it would be easier for her to go ahead and try to work up to 50% and sign up after December 10th. So therefore, her next payment is not going to come out of her account to the end of January, and then the last one will come out in February. So just kind of make yourself aware. When you sign up, make sure you read the dates. It does tell you what the dates are, and it is the 20th of every month. And if you have any other questions concerning when you sign up, you can also email account review at GPTC. And our NailNet specialist will be able to assist you with your questions. But again, like I said, if you miss a payment with NailNet and you go into default with your payment plan, and they notify us before class, by the payment deadline, which is January 30th, your classes will get purged for non-payment. And at that point, if you are reinstated, you'll be required to pay the full amount. So just keep that, in the back of your mind. Okay, Ms. Kim, I'm ready.
Hey, it's like you made it.
Yeah.
So guys, we are going to, I want y'all to have a woosah moment. I know this is a lot of information. So if you guys want to take like 3 minutes literally 3 to just breathe, stop for a second. Let me know that in the chat. The only sections we have left, I'm going to tell you guys about some support services, and then we're going to cover the tech part. So let me know if you guys are good with just taking 2 or 3 minutes to breathe, reset, because this very last section is very important. And I know we've been talking a lot. So if you want me to keep going, I will. You could just say, Miss Kim, keep going so we can get it out the way. Or I will stop for a moment. Just got to let me know. I said, keep going. Okay, y'all are good. Awesome. Okay, so we have 2 sections left, and then we're going to be done. The next section we're going to cover, I just want you guys to know about the services we have here, okay? And then we're going to have Ms. Clapper come on to talk about Blackboard, Banner Web, all of that, and then we'll be done, okay? So proud of y'all for hanging in here with us, because I know this can get a little much on the computer. All right, so really quick, this is an app that we have. If you have a smartphone at all, I tell students to download the app because you can do so much from the app. You can check your email, you can look at your schedule, you can register for classes, check your grades, and if you have payment to make, you can do that. It's just much more convenient to do. So make sure I don't know if you can hold your phone up to the QR code and it'll work from here, but just get the information for the app at least and make sure you take the time to download it, okay? I promise you it'll make things a lot easier, okay? All right. Now, the student handbook. You should get, when we send the follow-up PowerPoint, it should be a little link on there to click, but I'm all for knowing how to use the website because it's so easy. So if you want to write down in your notes section of your phone or something like that, write gptc.edu. gptc.edu. That's the main webpage. If you want to see the student handbook from there, it has a lot of information, useful information. All you'll need to do is you'll go to the website, you'll click on Future Student, and you'll click on Course Catalog. And to the left-hand side, you'll see the student handbook for 2021/2022, okay? So gptc.edu, Future Student, then click, it's gonna have that drop down, course catalog, you'll click on that, and then you'll see the option to choose the student handbook to the left-hand side, okay? Just wanna make sure you guys know where to find that. You can find information about attendance policies, grade appeal process, and of course, the student code of conduct, what we expect while you're here with us, okay? All right, okay. So support that we offer, student support services. All right, so the bookstore. So we talked about being able to use if you have a credit or a refund in the bookstore, but you can also go online. Again, you can go to gptc.edu and find this page there that you can look for your books online and get them this way and then just come pick them up. I don't think they mail them out, but I love shopping for stuff before I have to go get it. I do not like shopping for anything. So if I can set it before I get there and my bag is ready to go, that's what I prefer. So you can do that through the website if you want to. All right, so that's just a resource to kind of help out if you're short on time. Computer labs. So we have open computer labs for you guys to come use. Some of the challenges that some of our students have met is, hey, my laptop broke. I don't have enough to get another one right now. Or, I'm in the process of buying me a laptop and a computer, but I need something for now. Come up here and use what we have. We have them for you. So please come up and utilize the computer labs to do what you need to do. All right, that's what they're here for. Come on and use them up. All right, okay. Campus security. So of course we have campus security on each campus. They will escort you to your car at night. When I first started, they escorted me during the day. It just made me feel really special. So they'll escort you anytime, really. It says at night, but they'll look out for you during the day too. If you have anything that you need to report or just to get in touch with them, the main number for the school is and I'm sure you guys have seen it if you've gotten any automated calls, it's 404-297-9522, but then you'll just put in the extension of the department. So the campus security is 1700. And I'm actually going to type that number in the chat so that you guys can have it. So bear with me. And then you can kind of program that into your phone if you want, and then you'll just have to worry about actually dialing the extension. And then, of course, for the parking pass, this is where you would go. You would go to campus security to get it. When you come to campus security to get your parking pass, if you're driving to school, make sure that you have your license plate number and your ID when you come in. They're going to ask you for that. So just take a picture of it before you come in if you don't have it memorized. A lot of people don't, so just make sure because they'll send you back out to your car to get that information. Okay. All right, free tutoring. This is another resource that I'm just not quite sure if any students know about it or if they're comfortable using it, but we have an amazing tutorial team. They take in-person appointments, but they also take online appointments. You know, since we worked at home, a lot of people have gotten used to the comfortability and the convenience of being at home. That's just kind of natural. And so we do have the option of online tutoring if you don't want to drive up here, if you can't drive up here. We do have that option. And a lot of our students, for math and English, those are very tough subjects for some of our students to get through. They are here to help you. There is no shame. It is what it is. We're here to help you get through successfully. So please utilize the free tutorial services. Utilize it, whether you're coming up here or whether you make an appointment for online, they are ready to help you. So please use the service if you need it. Okay. All right. Career services. This is another great service. They're here. If you want to email, if that's easier for you to do, it's just simply careers@gptc.edu to kind of schedule an appointment that way. And they help you with resumes if you're looking for kind of part-time jobs or internships, career assessment, and we have job fairs. The job fairs we have turn out to be very successful. There are a lot of people that come, and typically our job fairs are not just open to our students, but it's open to the community. We are a community-based school, so it's open to everyone. So when we have a job fair and you want to bring your brother, your sister, your boo, your mom and your daddy, they are welcome. All right. They are welcome to come. All righty. Moving along. And then, of course, we are slowly opening things back and having lunch and grabs and just different things of that nature. So keep in mind when we send out emails, and we try not to flood you guys with emails, but you are going to get emails from different departments you're in, different organizations, to just let you guys know what we have going on so you can pop up here and have a good time with us. Okay. So that is important to man your student email so that you can get all this information in real time. All righty. Disability services. We have Miss Paula Greenwood. She is actually right across from me. She is probably one of the sweetest people I've ever met at all, and she loves what she does. So if you fall under needing disability services, again, not a big deal. She is here to help you get through that process, all right? So if you want to screenshot this information, I already put the direct phone number in the chat, so her extension is 1155, or you could just shoot her an email, and she definitely will answer you, okay? So this is our person for disability services. If you need it, utilize it. That's why we're here, okay? All right. Library services. So, you know, when I was in school, I'm not that old, but when I was in school, there was no texting. Okay. You had to come to the library and get what you need to get. So you can still do that, or you could text. That's not a fake number, that's a real number. So when you send that text message, and the librarian will correspond with you that way if it's convenient for you to do it. Okay. I think it's super cool because I did not get that option ever. All right. Here. Okay. Go ahead and do this now because you'll forget to do it later. You definitely want to join our emergency alerts. It gives, you know, alerts if we're, you know, want you to stay away from campus, if it's a weather issue, things of that nature. You want to get all that information in real time. All right. We want to make sure you guys are safe, whether it's weather or anything else. And so I want to make sure that you guys get text from us. So all you would do is text join emergency to 30890. Again, text join emergency to 30890, and it'll opt you in for those emergency alerts. Okay. So I'll give you guys like 1 second to do that, but literally join emergency to 30890. And once you do that, you're already opted in. You don't have to do anything else. All right. Okay. Perfect. All righty. We have made it to the end. So this is the technology piece. Guys, I know we've given you a lot of information, but all things technology is super important for you guys to listen in on. We've tried to make it really easy for you to be able to log in with one sign on to everything. She's going to explain all this to you. But one of our major challenges for students is assuming that they'll just figure it out. And it's a week or 2 or 3 weeks into classes, and you don't know where to go, how to log in, how to see your assignments, you know. So just kind of listen in, and again, take some time to go kind of play around in your portal. Of course, classes won't show until they begin, but you can kind of get a feel for what you need to do so that you, again, have a strong foundation. But you need me to go back to the text message tab. Okay, let me do that really quickly. All right. I went back to the text message tab. There you go. I'll leave it up for about 10 seconds. Let me know when you're good, whoever sent that. Cameron, let me know when you're good, okay? So we can move on. Thank you, Dean Buck. Okay. Okay, cool. Miss Clapper needs to be unmuted. Candace, can you do that for me? I'm having a, let me see. Oh, there, let's see. Looks like you're unmuted.
I am now.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay, just let me know when to move on, okay?
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Georgia Piedmont, and welcome this morning. So I'm going to talk about all things technology, and then we will be on our way. So just bear with us as we go through, and I will give you a short synopsis about our technology here at Georgia Piedmont and some information about how to get even more information about our technology. All right, we can go ahead to the next one. So we have lots of technology here. Obviously, we're a technical college, so we're going to have a lot of technology, and there's a lot to remember. There's a lot of technology that you have to access, but we do have some fast, easy ways to get to the technology now, a lot better ways than we used to have. So we will talk about those. One thing we do want to point out, and we've probably said this over and over and over again this morning, is check your email. Georgia Piedmont email is very, very important for you to check. That is how we communicate with you. And you're going to get email from all parts of the college. And the most important part is your instructor. Your instructor is going to communicate with you via your Georgia Piedmont student email. They're not going to send it to your personal email. So make sure you're checking your student email on a regular basis for all the information from all the parts of the college, as well as getting that information from your instructor. Classwork is submitted and graded using what we call Blackboard. It's a school software program. It's a learning management system that we use. It's called Blackboard. And Blackboard is it's basically a virtual classroom. It's where you're going to go to class other than if you were going to go sit in a desk in a classroom. And you would do it sitting in your living room or your office at home or at work or somewhere else, even in your car. Okay. Some folks even do it from their car or from the beach. You can do it from anywhere. Wouldn't we love to be at the beach today? And so you can take your classes using Blackboard from anywhere actually in the world. We do have students who are across the world taking classes from Georgia Piedmont using Blackboard. We also have something called Banner. Banner is actually our student management system. That means it manages all of our student information, such as our registration, all of your what we call vitae. It's all the information about you. We keep up with your grades. That's how we can get your transcript for the future. So you can come back in the future and get a transcript from us. If you decide that you want to continue your studies in the future with other colleges, you can come back and get a transcript of your grades from here at Georgia Piedmont and then continue your studies somewhere else, such as Georgia State or Mercer or the University of Georgia or anywhere else that you want to attend. And then we have something called Okta. Okta helps you to get into everything. And Okta is, I have a real simple, easy way for you to get into Okta. And that's using what we call a website that you just use that website to get in through Okta. And Okta is our security system that lets you get in. Okay, we can go to the next slide. So how do you get logged in? The best way is, and the only way, is our single sign-on. So we have to use our single sign-on, and we call it SSO for short. So if you hear someone say, oh, your SSO, they're talking single sign-on. And single sign-on really means single sign-on now. I'm so excited. Ms. Buckley has put in the website address that makes it super, super easy for you to get into all of our systems, login.gptc.edu, and you use the single sign-on to get into that page. It's a web page that you access that when you use the single sign-on, it literally is a single sign-on. You sign in once and you get into all these wonderful technology sites that we have available to you. And it's personalized just for you. It's giving you access to all the things that you have access to here at Georgia Piedmont. It knows who you are. So it will actually have all the things you can access personally. So what is your single sign-on? Your single sign-on is the first part of your email address. That's your username. So for example, our example here is Laura Sample, and her username is lsample11. That's the first part of her email address. So her email, if you wanted to give your email to someone so they can email you here at Georgia Piedmont, would be lsample11@student.gptc.edu. Now, it's very important that you remember that student.gptc.edu part to your email, because you will be asked that if you have to fill out a form for support. So I am Blackboard support, and when you want to fill out that form that I have for Blackboard support, it's going to ask you for your student email, and you want to make sure that you put in the full student email, because that's how it knows to email me that form, and it knows how to email you back the response. And so it's very important that you put it in all the way. You put in the student.gptc.edu. If you miss the student part, then it knows that something's wrong. That's not your correct email, because staff and faculty, their email is just gptc.edu. Okay, so there's a difference. So make sure you put the entire email if you're asked to put in your entire email. But for your username for single sign-on, you only put up to the @ sign. You don't put anything past the end of the first part. So you don't put @student.gptc.edu. It's just up to the @ sign, like our example here, L sample 11. And then your password, the very first password that you will get is capital G, lowercase PTC, and then the 6 digits of your date of birth. So it's 2 for the month, 2 for the day, and 2 for the year. Now, I do want to point out that if you change your password, realize that your password is changed for all the systems. So if you're not using that login.gptc.edu site and you're logging in separately to each of the different systems, if you're logging into email separately or you're logging into Banner separately, then you are going to have to log into each of them separately, and that password is going to be used for each of them. And if you change that password, then the password that you change to will be used for each of them, okay? Because it's a single sign-on. So that username and password is for all of them. Even when you come over to the college and you log into a computer here at the college, that username and password is also used to get into the computers here at the college. All right, we can go to the next. So what happens if you're locked out of your account? Now, there are 2 things I do want to point out, because this slide talks about locked out. If you can't get into your account and using that single sign-on, there are 2 things that we actually have to look at when we go to reset, because there is a lockout and there's also just that your password has expired or something's happened to your password or we just need to reset it, you don't remember it, all different types of scenarios. You can actually be locked out of what we call your account because of the fact that you've tried so many times. So you do want to make sure that we have to check. Sometimes it may say locked out, and so you just say I'm locked out, or you may have to say I need my password reset. Technical support is 404-297-9522, and you may hear it interchangeably called student support. Okay, student support, tech support, we use it interchangeably, and their extension is 5399. But something else you need to remember, when you call that number, you need to make sure you choose option 3. If you choose option 3, it will connect you to support. If you choose option 1, that actually connects you with me, Blackboard. Now, I can change your password, but I will be honest with you. If I'm busy or things are going on and you call and you leave a message, it may take me a while to get back in touch with you. So if you do get my voicemail, it's probably best for you. I do have on my voicemail this number, and I say, make sure you call the number 5399 and choose option 3. I put on my outgoing message because I want you to try to get a hold of someone as quickly as possible. And also, if you call our call center, we have a call center. It's the main number, and if you can get into the call center, and I'm not actually sure how that works, Candace, how they get into that call center, but that call center, the folks that are in the call center also have access to being able to change your password. So we definitely want to help you change your password. Support right now is available Monday through Thursday at this point. Their hours are adjusting right now. And my hours are Monday through Friday. Okay. All right, we can go ahead to the next. So here is that Okta login dashboard. Okay, so when you go to login.gptc.edu, you're going to have this dashboard. Now yours is not going to look exactly like this because this is Miss Fontenette's, and hers is going to have a lot of little icons that are not going to be there for you, but you will have some of these icons. I will let you know that you have access to software packages from Microsoft Office. So you will have access to Word and Excel and PowerPoint through the login.gptc.edu. So that's really awesome. You don't have to download Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. You have access through the login.gptc.edu. That's really great because you can actually log in from anywhere, not on your computer, not on it doesn't have to be on your computer, and access those Microsoft Office packages. And that is fantastic because you can go anywhere and access those 3 packages. And it can be on any computer. They don't have to have it on their computer. So that's really great. You're also going to have access again to your Georgia Piedmont email for sure. You'll have access to Blackboard. You'll have access to, I'm pretty sure Navigate is on here for students. And if you are taking classes from what we call eCampus, students, there's some students who will be taking classes from eCampus. If you are taking an eCampus class, you will also have an icon for your eCampus Blackboard site as well on here. Okay. So how do you access Okta from GPTC? So if you go to GPTC's website, you can actually go to current student and then click on the dashboard. There is a link called Apps Dashboard. And if you click on it, it will take you to that login.gptc.edu website. And so if you click on there, it'll take you straight there. You don't have to actually remember login.gptc.edu. But if you remember it, you can also access it just straight from typing in the website. So you can go either way. But if you don't remember it, you can go to Georgia Piedmont's webpage, click on current students, and then student dashboard there on apps dashboard. Okay. So super, super important. You must remember that when you log into Blackboard, okay, now this is the login screen, but when you actually get into Blackboard, if you go to that login.gptc.edu, you're not actually going to log in using that student and faculty login. Click here. It'll actually log you right into Blackboard. Once you get into Blackboard, you're going to see a list of your courses. And that course list will have a list of the courses, and those courses show up during the first day of class. Okay, so you're not going to see your classes until the actual first day for that class. Now, if you have classes that are starting on the very first day of class, which would be January 10th, I think it's the first day of class. I can't think of it off the top of my head. If it's starting on that first day of class, then you will have classes. They'll show up in Blackboard. If classes, if you have a late start class, okay, so January 10th, there we go. If you have a class that is starting, say, at the late start, which will be sometime in probably February or March, then those courses will actually not show up in Blackboard until that time. So classes, March 7th, there we go. So those classes do not appear in Blackboard until the day they actually are beginning. And the way you know that they're going to show up in Blackboard is they are on your schedule. If you look at your schedule from Banner, and on that schedule, it has a date range on there. And that tells you the day it's going to show up and the day it's going to disappear from Blackboard. So look at that date range and you'll know the day it will appear and the day it will disappear. So on the very first day, when you get on to Blackboard and you see your class, you want to make sure you click on that class, and you're going to do what we call the no-show. So there will be in your class a link, and it says syllabus and no-show assignment. You want to click on the syllabus and no-show assignment, and you want to click on the actual no-show assignment. When you do, there will be a quiz, and you need to click on that quiz and do the quiz. Make sure you have looked at the syllabus first before you go to take that no-show assignment quiz, okay? Because it has information that may question you about the syllabus, all right? So make sure that you've looked at the syllabus first and then go in and take that no-show quiz. And that no-show quiz is letting your instructor know you have taken part in your class. You are ready to go, you're ready to get started, and you are going to participate and do the work in your class. And it's very important you do that for each and every single class that you're taking. It's not one for all, it's you do one for each and every single class. And communicate with your instructors. If you're having a problem, be sure that you click on the email link in your class and send your instructors an email. And if you still need assistance in your Blackboard course, then in that section right here, notice this picture right here over on the left-hand side. It says help and resources. This page has actually changed a little bit, but over on the left-hand side, it's still there on the left-hand side. It may just be down further on the page. It's going to say help desk request form. And if you click on that help desk request form, or there'll be a support picture, you click on it, it will take you to a form where you can fill that form out and ask me, Blackboard support, a question, and we can help you. Okay? All right, we can go to the next page. All right, again, these are your login credentials for that very first time. Make sure you know your username is the first part of your email address, and that your password that very first time is capital G, lowercase PTC, and the 6 digits for your date of birth. And that's how you log into Blackboard, but it's also how you log into that overall single sign-on, that SSO. And when you log into the SSO, you're also going to get to an Okta page. When you log in that first time, and actually every single time, you're going to have what they call the security or multi-factor authentication. You're going to have to authenticate. And so you will have to set up that very first time your authentication. It will ask you to set it up, and you decide how you want to get that authentication. You can have an email sent to another email address. You can have a PIN set to your phone number. You can have a security question. There's all different ways that you can set up that authentication process. You decide how you want it set up, and then from then on, it will then send you that information when you go to log in. And that's how we authenticate who you are. And then that process will happen every time you log in to any of the systems here at the college, and you will authenticate and get into your system. All right. So what about Blackboard? What is Blackboard used for? Blackboard is used for your class. It's literally like I was saying, it's just a virtual classroom, just like your class in person, except you're doing everything inside of a virtual class. You have things like drop boxes, you have tests, you have discussions. There's actually a virtual classroom where you can have a web session just like we're doing here. You can have, there's information posted about your instructor, your syllabus is posted. You can email, there's a calendar. There's all types of things inside your Blackboard course. When you log in that first day of class, it's very important that y'all get started. And again, remember that first day of class is January 10th. All classes that start on January 10th should show up in Blackboard on that day, and you'll be able to get into your courses. If your class doesn't start on January 10th, then it will start on March 7th. Now, some of y'all may be taking what we call stack classes. What that means is your class may actually be a short stack termed class. Some of you who are in, say, welding or automotive or LEA, the Law Enforcement Academy. I'm trying to think of some of the other programs. There may be a couple in nursing. I can't remember if some of the nursing are still doing it or not. But what they do is they have classes that are only for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. And so your courses will show up for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, and then they will disappear, and then you go to the next class. And so that's why they're called stacked. They're stacked through the semester. And so those courses will appear as you go through as well, okay? So you have to log into those courses every time and make sure you're logging in that first day of class for each of those classes, doing the no-show assignment. Make sure you go through the course and read all the information and check out the information and keep track of all that information that's in that class. Again, that participation assignment, that's that no-show assignment needs to be completed within that first 14 days of class, but you need to do it. I would recommend the first day. Go in, take care of it, get it over with, and be done with it. When will you see your classes? Again, that first day of class. You will see those on that first day of class. And then Blackboard support, that's me. Right now, it's just me, okay? It's me, myself, and I, as I like to say. And I'm hoping to get somebody. We started this process a year ago trying to get somebody on board. I'm hoping we're going to get somebody this year to help me out. But right now, it's still just me. And so my hours are the hours that support is available. And however, that does not mean that I can, I'm sitting here waiting to answer the phone for support. Unfortunately, I am the director. So I have to do all the director job. I have to do all the support job. And so I do all the things. And so I have meetings. I'm out on the phone a lot. I do a lot of things, y'all. I create these courses. I put the information in the courses. I do a lot. So just be aware that if you do send a ticket or if you do leave me a message, make sure that you send, when you leave a message, make sure you leave me your phone number, that I will get back with you. I promise. I am very good at getting back with students. It just may not be immediately, okay? And I don't work nights. So I'm not here until midnight, guys. And so I don't work 24/7, unfortunately. I can't. I don't have that capability. And I work Monday through Friday. So we don't have support hours on the weekends at this point, okay? So just be aware that you will get an answer as soon as possible. And we do have the support hours posted in each of the classes, okay? Next. Banner. Banner is, again, the student management system. It has all the things that have to do with your financial aid status, with your course schedule, your transcript, courses that you need to graduate. That's how you register for classes. If you have a hold, it has all your account balances, the current course listings. All these things are in Banner, and those things are very, very important. We keep track of all that stuff. That's where we post your grades at the end of the semester. So from start to finish, that's where you go to register. That's where you go to see your schedule. That's where you go to see your balance for anything in your account. That's where you go to see your financial aid status for any of your SAP decisions. And at the end of the semester, that's where you're going to go to see your grades. When the instructors are done at the end of the semester, they're going to post your grades from Blackboard, and they're going to be posted into Banner. And then you can go into Banner after that happens. Grades are due from instructors on Thursday of this week for this semester. And so our students from this semester are going to be able to see their grades on Friday in Banner. And so that's how that situation works. When it's the next day because I have to run a process, the registrar has to run a process, and then the students can see their grades in Banner. And so you'll be able to see your grades in Banner at that point. And then again, like I said, in the future, when you have graduated, you'll be able to get a transcript from Banner because we keep track of all of that stuff. And so you'll be able to request a transcript from Georgia Piedmont, and we'll be able to pull that transcript from Banner and send that to you and to the college that you're wanting it sent to, or to a workplace, wherever you need to have that transcript sent to. So that's what we do with Banner. And so Banner has a lot of information for a long, long time. We've been here 60 years. We're celebrating our 60th this year. Does this apply to dual enrollment students? Does what apply, Kyla? I'm not sure what you mean. Pretty much, I mean, Banner applies to dual enrollment. Blackboard applies to dual enrollment. All your classes are in dual enrollment. Students are college students here at Georgia Piedmont. Yes, everything. Yes. So everything that happens here at the college, even for a dual enrollment student, applies as well. Yes. All right. Free Office 365. All right, so we talked about how when you go to login.gptc.edu and you click in there, you have access from anywhere in the world. You can get to those 3 software packages. You can get to Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Well, you can actually get the entire Office 365 and put it on your computer, and you're allowed up to 5 personal computers or devices to install that software on. And the way you do that is you go into your Georgia Piedmont email, and you can go in the upper right hand corner of your email, and your initials are in a little circle. And when you click on your initials, you're going to have a drop down, and it's going to show your settings. You can click on settings, and when you click on settings, it brings you to a settings page that allows you to go to install, and you can install Office 365. Now, you don't need to remember all those directions, because if you can't figure out how to do that in the future, you can, if you want to install Office 365, if you need help, you can contact student support, or you can contact me and I can step you through this. Again, you can call me or student support, and we will be glad to step you through installing Office 365 onto your computer. Okay, so again, you can get Office 365 downloaded to your computer free for being a student here at Georgia Piedmont. That is awesome. And it allows you to have all of these packages in your on your computer. And you will need them here at the college when you're taking courses. So I definitely recommend that you do this if you have a computer. All right. Proctoring. We require proctoring for all online classes. So if you take an online class here at the college, there are 3 types of classes. So we have online classes, we have hybrid classes, and we have what we call web enhanced classes. These are classes that meet in the classroom and just use Blackboard for like information, like the syllabus and handouts, and they may use it for testing or some stuff, but you're actually in the classroom. If you're in the classroom, your teacher's right there. You don't need to be proctored. Your teacher is technically proctoring you right then. For a hybrid course, hybrid courses meet part of the time in the classroom and part of the time online. And we do not require that they do proctoring for those classes either. Some of the hybrid courses do proctor because they do their test online. And so they may have proctoring for some of their classes. But we do require proctoring for all online classes. And so most of the proctoring, depending on, there's a few exceptions because those courses do not have a test. And so they may have to do their class proctoring slightly different. But most classes are going to have a proctored exam. And that means you're going to have to download onto your computer a software package that is called Refunds Lockdown Browser. Now, if you use a Mac or you use a Windows computer, you would download a piece of software onto your computer. If you use a Chromebook, you will download an extension onto your Chromebook. If you use an iPad, there is an app that you can use. And so these different software packages that we're talking about here, they will be used to take your test. And so you have to download it, install it, and then you have to go into that particular software program in order to take your test. You would not use Google Chrome or Edge or Firefox to take your test. You have to use the lockdown browser. And the reason is because it is stopping you from accessing other sites or printing. And it also is going to have a web camera feature to it. You will be on a webcam. So while you're taking the test, you will have to be in front of your webcam, and it is watching you while you take the test. Now, there is not a person watching you. It is a webcam that is recording you while you take the test. And it is going to make sure that you have to stay in front of the screen. If you don't stay in front of the screen, it'll pop up a message and tell you you're not in front of the screen. And so you have to stay in front of the screen. You have to show your ID to the screen at the beginning of the test. You have to verify who you are. And then you take the test, stay in front of the screen. And then at the end, you submit your test. And then the instructor will get a set of information about you taking the test. If the screen was moved or if something happened, the instructor gets information about this. And if they feel that you moved or left out of the screen or something happened, then they request that video so that they can see the video. They're not going to watch all the videos unless they need to. But it does tell them, it gives them little screenshots, and they can look at that and see if they need to request that video. So it is making sure that everyone is being honest during their test, okay? That's the point of having a proctored exam. We're wanting to make sure that we have a very, everybody's taking the exams in the right way. The other thing is we want to make sure that we are also telling y'all, make sure that you are dressed appropriately when you are in front of the camera taking your Respondus monitor exam, okay? Please, please, please make sure you are dressed appropriately. We have had some folks in the past who have not been dressed appropriately. And we don't want to see y'all in inappropriate clothes or no clothes, okay? So make sure you're dressed appropriately, okay? I do want to say that because the instructors have asked me repeatedly to make sure that I tell everybody, please be dressed appropriately. All right. Okay, so let's move on.
That's actually it. We have made it.
Yay!
Y'all can type in the chat. Yay!
And welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yay, everybody. Yay, y'all made it. Woo! I'm so proud of you guys. Guys, so can you imagine, seriously, I do about, or we, because it's a team of us, we do about, what, 6 of these? So y'all can imagine we're like, yay, when they're when it's over. So congratulations, welcome. We are so happy that you guys decided to attend here. We are here to help you through the process, so do not hesitate in sending emails, asking questions. It is fine. We know that this is probably new to quite a few of you, and you just need a couple months to get set, and it's okay. So thank you for staying tuned in. We look forward to seeing you. Make sure that you kind of, when we send you the follow-up PowerPoint, make sure you kind of flip through and say, is there an area I need to just look at one more time? because we really want you guys to be ready to go. January the 10th, we want you guys to be set. So have an amazing day. It's lunchtime, it's getting there. So get something to eat. And thank you for your patience with us. And we look forward to working with you in January. Take care.